Alright, how's it going, everybody? I've been meaning to make this video demonstrating some of the vision drills I've been doing for a while. I planned on actually waiting until I was back out in Arizona training with Dustin Apgar to do this so he could film me and make sure I was presenting the message correctly. And that's not going to happen now, so I'm going to do my best in his honor to show you guys and demonstrate everything that he taught me as far as this is concerned. And hopefully some other people can use it and become better riders themselves. I was actually very surprised to find out Dustin worked with a lot of people and racers and not just his team. So he was the crew chief for Barcon Racing, and one day he mentioned to me that he was trying to work with another top competitor for Barcon, and I was kind of surprised, and I asked him, I was like, well, what does Colin, think about that? Colin's the owner of Barcon Racing, and he said, Colin thinks the same thing I think, and we both are on the same page. We just want to grow the sport as much as possible and educate kids and people as much as possible, and they just wanted people to be the best riders they could be. So whether they were on their team or not, they were willing to help them. So that just goes to show what kind of people Dustin and Colin are, and all the people over at Barcon Racing. I really appreciate to have the opportunity to have had work with them, and I'm going to try to do this in Dustin's honor, like I said, and try not to mess anything up. Sure, I'm not going to be able to explain it as well as he did, but I'm going to do my best. So here we go. First things first, you got to turn your hat on backwards. You want to have full vision, full view of everything going on. You don't want any thing blocking your vision at all. Next, you're going to want to set up 3 spots on the wall. So mine are a little more advanced than you need to do. I just did this because it makes me have to focus extra, having letters with some random designs in the background to kind of make the letters more difficult to see. But to start off, you can even just start with a little piece of tape on the wall. Dustin had little squares colored on his RV that we did this with, so anything like that works. You just want it, the center one, you want to have it slightly above your eye level, so that's why this is about at 6 foot for me. And on the sides, you want to be able to see them. If you block that eye, I want to be able to see the one on my right side now with my left eye while still looking forward. So I'm looking straight at the camera right now, but I can still see there's that A over there. And then the same thing for the other side. I'm looking straight at the camera, but with my peripherals, I still see the B. So that's set up properly for me. And now I'll demonstrate level 1. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by looking at that center one, and then I'm gonna move my eyes to one of the sides. We'll go to B first, and then I'm gonna move my head to the side, and then I'm gonna move my eyes to this side, and then I'm gonna move my head to this side, eyes, head, and so on. So I'll demonstrate it. Hopefully it's a little easier for you to understand once you see me do it once. Stand in a ready position, looking straight ahead, eyes to the B, head to the B, eyes to the A, head to the A, eyes back to the C, head to the C. So that's like 1. I'll do 10 of those, and then I'll take a break. 2. 3. And so on. So once I get to 10, then I'll take a break for a minute. After I take a break for a minute, I'll do that 10 more times. And I'll switch sides. So I started at the C, and then I went to the B. Next time I'll start at the C, and then I'll go to the A. And I'll just keep alternating back and forth. And I do that 10 times, and then that's the end of that drill. And I do that 10 times. So it takes a total of 20 minutes about. It takes me about a minute to do 10 cycles of this, and then I take a minute break. So 1 minute break plus 10 minutes worth of training equals about 20 minutes. So that's about a 20-minute drill. And that was level 1 that I just showed you. Level 2, we added in the body. So now instead of just going eyes, head, we're gonna go eyes, head, body, eyes, head, body, eyes, head, body. So I'll demonstrate that for you quick. Stand in the ready position, looking at the C, move the eyes to B, head to B, dab, body, eyes, head, dab, eyes, head, dab, eyes, head, dab, and so on. You get the idea. So that's level 2. Once you got level 2 figured out and you're not too distracted, what's going to happen is you're going to want to rush, and this is to develop patience with your vision and getting your vision looking ahead where you need to be. So you don't want to rush this. The goal isn't to get through it as fast as possible. The goal is to really focus on each letter in between while you're jumping from one to the next. You need to really be to see that letter. And when you move your eyes, before moving your head, you really want to see that letter before you move your head. So you know exactly where you're turning your head to. You're not kind of just waving your head around trying to find that letter that's on the wall somewhere. Just like when you're on the track, you don't want to be waving your head around looking for that exit point or that apex. You want to see the apex, turn your head right towards it, and then throw your bike in and dive right into that apex. And then move your eyes up to the exit, whatever it may be. So now I'll do the level 3, which is basically the same thing as level 2. I just integrate this balance board. So this is just a cheap balance board. Anything will work really. You could use one of those little surfboard looking things. Like I know Cruise Texter likes to rock that little surfboard thing. I saw him ripping on that little ripper. All right, so jump on the balance board. And like I said, the goal is not to rush. The goal is to keep your core strength and your body stable on this board while you're doing the drill. And what naturally tends to happen for people starting off, at least it did for me, and Dustin said it's common with most people, is you want to kind of lean. So when you throw your body, when you're looking to the sides, naturally you kind of fall off balance because you're leaning that way. You don't want to do that in this drill. You want to try to stay straight, stay stable with your core, body or waist down, kind of stable and keeping that board level. So I'll do it for you here. Straight. All right, so that's level 3. So that's about all there is for that drill. I'll do that, like I said, 30 times, or sorry, 10 full cycles. I count every time I jump from one to the next, so I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. So that's how I keep track. When I get to 30, I know I'm done. And I'll do that a total of 10 times, and then I'll move on to the next drill. So the next drill is also a concussion recovery drill that works for increasing your peripheral vision, your balance, and it's incredibly difficult to just jump into the level 3 of this one. It's something you're gonna have to work towards. So again, I'll start you off with the first level. And if you've recently had a concussion, or if you may have had concussions in the past that you've never recovered from, really anybody, if this is your first time doing this, you should probably have somebody nearby and maybe standing behind you to potentially catch you. This is very, what do I say, difficult for people who have had concussions. It's something that really stresses the mind while you're doing this, and it causes a lot of people to feel nauseous. Some people even throw up or pass out. So what I'm gonna do with this drill is I'm gonna look directly at that center piece, C, we'll go with, I'm looking at the C, and I'm gonna turn my head, I'm gonna shake my head, kind of like this, but I'm gonna keep my eyes looking perfectly straight right at that C while I shake my head. And I wanna turn my head just far enough that I can still see it when so if I cover this eye, I wanna still be to see it. Yep. So that's about as far as I can turn my head and still see it with both eyes. So you're gonna set your timer, get a timer on your phone or whatever stopwatch you got. Set your timer for 1 minute, and we're gonna do this for 1 minute. And again, this will make you dizzy, so be careful if you haven't done this before. You stand there and you want it, that C, you want it to be very clear. If you're shaking your head too fast and it's getting blurry or it's bouncing around, slow down. Slow down until that C or whatever you're looking at on the wall is clear. Stay in your ready position, tips of your toes, balls of your feet, I guess would be the proper term, and just shake your head back and forth while maintaining that vision on that specific spot. Don't let your eyes start bouncing around your head. If they start doing that, slow down. Just do this for 1 minute. Do it for a minute, and then when your timer goes off, stop, reset the timer, take a break for a minute. After you take a break for a minute, go back and do the head shakes for a minute. On and off, again, I do this for 20 minutes, 10 minutes of shaking the head, 10 minutes of break, rest. When you're resting, try not to rub your eyes too much, making your eyes watery and stuff like that only makes it more difficult. Sorry, I had some stuff in my lens there. So yeah, anytime you're, if you rub your eyes, it kind of gets teary-eyed, and then it makes, just makes everything more difficult for you. So that's level 1. And then level 2, what we'll do is we'll add the balance board in. So we'll do the same thing with the head shakes on the balance board. I can demonstrate that quick, but I'm sure you can imagine what it looks like. Jump on the balance board, get stable, stand in your ready position, and just shake your head. Once you're comfortable doing that, and you get, you're not jumping all around on the balance board and getting crazy, then we'll bring out to level 3. Level 3 is kind of why I have this plastic on the wall. The plastic is really just to protect my wall, because I'm going to bounce a ball against the wall. Well, I'm going to bounce the ball on the ground, it's going to hit the wall, and then I'm going to catch it with my opposite hand, and then I'll throw it against the ground, hit the wall, catch it with my opposite hand, throw it against the ground, hit the wall, catch it with the opposite hand, and so on, while I'm still doing the head shakes and maintaining my vision looking at this spot. So I'll demonstrate that for you real quick. I gotta go grab my ball. All right, so I got my ball. It's just a wall ball. Dustin told me, get one of the good ones, not a cheap one. So that's what I did. I got this A1 ball off of Amazon, and I don't know if it really matters or if he was just messing with me, but it is what it is. You could probably use a bouncy ball, but this is what I use, and it works well. So I'm gonna demonstrate this for you quick. I might actually switch the angle on this one so you can see it a little better. See if this helps. Maybe if I set you up over here, you can get the idea what's going on here a little bit better. So I set my timer, start 1 minute, jump up on the balance board, focus on the wall, shake my head, bounce it against the ground, catch it, keep doing this, but my eyes are still focused up on that spot. The only way I can catch this ball is because my peripheral vision's picking it up. Not once do I look down at this ball. If I drop the ball, I don't stop the drill. I just keep focused on that spot on the wall and keep shaking my head till the timer's up, and then I'll find the ball while I'm on my rest minute. And I just keep doing this. I try to increase the number of times I bounce and catch the ball. I'm at about 60 bounces and catches per minute right now. That's pretty good, I believe. Dustin was pretty excited when I told him I was at 45 and I was going to get to 60 soon. And I got to 60 about last week, so I still keep trying to do more and more. I'm going slow right now. As I go better, I start throwing them lower and closer to the wall. Like that was bad, that was better. I kind of put this little box, on here just so that I could also use that as my peripherals as almost a target. And along with the MDM sticker, I just threw that on there after I peeled it off with some body work, but or a tank. So that's the level 3, I guess, or you could call it level 4. Really, you might want to try all that without the balance board first, and then add the balance board in after you got the ball catching down. But I would definitely, level 1 is no balance board, no ball, just stand there and look at it and shake your head for a minute, on a minute, off minute, on a minute, off minute. And like I said also, that's a very good concussion recovery drill. So if you have had a concussion, you do that for 3 months, every day, twice a day. I do that usually it's almost like a warm up before I get my day started. The first thing I do is come out here for 40 minutes, do vision drills. And then at the end of the night before bed, I usually come out here again for 40 minutes, do more vision drills. So if you do it for an hour and a half every day, you will cure your concussion as much as possible, pretty much, and you'll be in a lot better shape than you are now. Even if you had a concussion a year ago, there's a good chance that you're still suffering from some side effects. and these drills will greatly increase your ability to recover from that. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This green tape is on the wall for some wall push-ups. I'll make another video getting into the physical side of some training that Dustin taught me. But again, that'll be in another video. If I make it on this one, it'll be a really long video. And I just wanted this one to focus on the vision drills because that's something I found very interesting. I feel like not enough people are doing it. And not only is it great for racers, it's great for people recovering from concussions or really anyone. And what Dustin really said is by doing this, it slows down time. And what he meant was that your vision becomes so good that rather than like when you're rushing through turns and you're going into turn 1, there's 20 bikes and you're 4 wide and everyone's brushing elbows and you're in the heat of the moment. It seems like everything's happening so fast, but when your vision is right, you can see all those guys brushing elbows with you. You see them coming out your peripheral vision. You see your apex, you see your exit. You're seeing so clearly that it just feels like everything's in slow motion, and that allows you to have the confidence to go faster. So this is very beneficial stuff, and I hope it's useful to everyone else, and some other people give it a try. If you do, feel free to send me videos. If you want any critiquing or any advice, I'll do my best. Thank you. Oh, one more quick factoid about this. Dustin, the reason he learned this stuff is when he was involved in his bad crash at Daytona, he had an extremely bad concussion and he wasn't allowed to ride for 3 months. Prior to going to Daytona, he was training at Indy, and there was also an F1 team training at Indy, and he was working with them. They were taking all kinds of data from him. They were hooking up all these sensors to him while he was doing laps and just getting all kinds of different data for them to use also with their F1 team. And anyway, so after his crash, he went back to Indy and he was working with all these doctors from Europe and world-renowned doctors that this F1 team hooked him up with, and that's where he learned these drills. So he did these drills for 3 months straight, every single day. He wasn't allowed on a bike. After doing these drills for 3 months, they finally let him get back on the track, so he jumped on his R1. They hooked him up with all the sensors and all that stuff, and he went out there and started turning some laps around Indy. After 6 laps, they waved him in, and they told him that he had to slow down. And he was like, well, what do you mean? Like, I'm just taking my time, He didn't feel like he was going any faster or pushing his limits, anything like that. And they started laughing, and they told him he broke his own track record. So after not riding a bike for 3 months and having a very bad crash before that and a concussion, these drills were able to not only allow him to recover from the concussion, but to jump on a bike and in 6 laps break his own track record. So that's pretty impressive, and that's just goes to show how beneficial these drills can be if you do them correctly and if you actually put in the time and dedication to do it.